Since it's getting that time of year where it's getting a little cold, people are starting to make tea and they're having tea in their house to be warm. So today we are going to draw a teacup and a sugar bowl, and then we're going to draw maybe some candies and some sugar on the table. So the first thing you're going to do is hold your paper side to sideways. You're going to draw in pencil. I'm going to draw in a marker. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the teacup. Start with an ellipse shape, which is a pancake shape. So make an ellipse. Once you make an ellipse, you're going to come down on each side. Don't connect it all the way because we're going to actually do something. Actually, you can connect it. Connect it all the way. Once you do that, you're going to make 2 lines on each side and then a U. So now you have the bottom of the teacup. Now we're going to make the saucer in a second, but before we do that, we're going to make the handle. The handle is a curve. It comes in like an ear shape. And then in this case, we're going to go low, come in and get skinnier. So it kind of comes in like that, like a heart. For the saucer, we're going to start about midway of the cup, come around, and loop all the way back. So that's your saucer. And then to make it look real, we're going to kind of do a curve here and a curve here to give it that little look that it has like an indent in it. Now, once we get to the top part, we're going to go back to the top. We're going to make another curve. We have now made the edge of the mug. Once we do that, we're going to make another curve, and this is going to be the tea or coffee if we want to make a coffee. To make it look like we're stirring something, we're going to start right here at this edge right here. We're going to make a line, come up, and then on the same thing on the other side. You're then going to make a U. That's your spoon. You need to erase these lines right there. That's an erase. To make it a little easier now so you don't get confused, take your pencil and shade this part right here. That is going to be your liquid, like your tea or your coffee, whatever you want. So if you can see now, you have a spoon to stir, your tea or coffee, your mug, and your handle and your saucer. Now over here, we're going to draw a sugar bowl or maybe a jam cup. Why don't we do jam? We'll make it a jam. So let's make an ellipse shape again. 2 straight lines. We're going to make the top of a jam cup or a lid. Make a U. That's the top of the jam. From the sides here, we're going to make 2 diagonal lines. We're going to U, just like before, U it around like that. Okay? Just like before, 2 straight lines and a curve. That's the bottom of the jam. In our case, we're going to make a label. So curve and a curve. And you can write whatever kind of jam you want. You guys know what jam is. Jam's jelly. So you could write, let's say this one's mixed berry. Maybe you want strawberry. Maybe you want peach, whatever you want. And then you can even add like little seeds inside, because sometimes you see the little seeds on the edge. Just a few. And then we're going to make little lines here to give it that edge of the jam jar. Now, once we've done that, we're going to make a line here for our table. Oops, that's a little crooked, but there's your line. Now, for this, we're going to add some sugar cubes on the table because we're going to pretend like we just dropped them. So let's add a square here, maybe a square here, maybe another square nearby, and another square. Once we do that, we're going to make these into cubes. So what you're going to do is diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. Diagonal, diagonal, diagonal. This way, diagonal, 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 diagonal. Now, it's connect the lines. Connect, 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 connect. If that seems hard, there's another way you can do it. You make one square, another square, diagonal, 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 and then you erase the inside. That's a harder one, but you can do it that way also. Lastly, why don't we add like some little candies on the table, like you'd have like a little special candy. Circle, diagonal, wiggle. Circle, diagonal, wiggle. And then just add some little lines so it looks like the wrapper's on. And that is your candy and tea and jam. When you are finished, you are going to take your time and color everything. You can use color pencils, you can use watercolors, you can use crayons, whatever you like. You can also decorate your tea mug, or you can leave it white. It's your choice. Maybe you want just like a small design around your teacup, something simple. Okay, so you don't have to do anything super fancy. So take your time, you're going to color everything. Now there is a couple of shadows, so I'm going to do the shadows in gray just to show you. There is going to be a shadow on the left-hand side of this mug. Oops, we'll smear that in. There's a shadow underneath this. So you're going to do this in gray. There is a shadow underneath the mug right here. There is a shadow underneath the plate. There is a shadow underneath the lid on the whole left-hand side and on the left-hand side of the cup. We also have shadows under all of the things on the table. So you're going to do this in gray, and you're just going to make little shadows with your gray. And that is really your last step before you start coloring. So please take your time, go slow when you color. Now that you have the shadow, I'm just going to show you what you can do. So let's say this is a mixed berry. So I just go over it with my crayon again, or my color pencil, once I do my shadow. And your shadow you can do with, I did it with watercolors, but you can do your shadow with a color pencil, and I'll show you, or crayon. So I'll show you the same thing you would do with a crayon. So here are my crayons. And then maybe what I'll do is I would just lightly shade underneath like this, or lightly shade on the side, and then I would color my mug. So it's the same technique. You're just shading it with a pencil or a crayon, and then you color on top with your color. So exactly what I just did. You're going to take your time, make sure you color your table, make sure you color the top, go slow, and when you are finished, I cannot wait to see these nice warm cups of tea, hot cocoa, or coffee. Make sure you post them on Schoology when you guys are finished.